Hey there, Vanagon Addicts. This is Ken Wilford here at Van again. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. I'm sorry I'm a couple minutes late here at our Live at 5 broadcast, but it just seems like that's the way it always goes on Friday. It's like right at the very up to the minute, to the last possible second. But it just seems like we're getting stuff done. We're working on stuff and trying to get ready for our live stream. So I hope you guys are out there. You are getting ready to enjoy your weekend. I see I got one viewer here, which is probably myself. I went ahead and pulled up my thing so I can try to see the chat here. If you're out there, go ahead and let me know in the chat. But we had a great live stream last week. I definitely appreciate everybody that donated last week. That was awesome. And like I said, this is all for you guys. So hope you're out there. Hope you're getting ready to enjoy the live stream. We had some cool stuff happen this week. One of the things that just happened yesterday is that there was a guy that I enjoy watching on YouTube. His name is Doug DeMuro. I can take you to his YouTube if you would like, and we can take a look at it together. But his name is Doug DeMuro. He does a YouTube channel that is dedicated to usually like high-end cars that are like Lamborghinis, Porsches, stuff like that. But he also does a bunch of other kinds of vehicles, more obscure vehicles. So I was enjoying watching his program, and I sent him an email. He's like, if you have some suggestions, about a vehicle you want to see on the program, let us know. So I went ahead and sent him a suggestion about, what about a Vanagon? Have you ever thought about going to come and check out a Vanagon? So let me show you Doug's channel here real fast. If I can get past the screenception and take you to his channel, which is not this. All right, hold on. Oh, so terrible. So here's Doug's channel. He's got about 600,000 subscribers. I sent him an email about 2 weeks ago. He was actually out west doing some stuff with like the Shelby Cobra, the newest one. And so I'm sure that's why he was busy, didn't get back to me right away. But I asked him, would you like to come check out a Vanagon and see what it's like to, camp out and that kind of thing? And he said, I got an email from him today. Yes, he would like to do that. So what I'd like to do is get him as nice of an example of a Vanagon as possible. Now I have a nice 87 Westie here that is in really nice condition. I also have a customer that lives about a mile away. He's got a 91 Westie that's super low miles. That's in really nice condition. But I would really like to get somebody here that has a Syncro Westie that's in really nice condition, because that's kind of like the pinnacle of the Vanagon world, as you guys know. And so if we could get one of those here from a local person to bring one by and put on Doug's show, that would be the best. Okay, so if you guys are out there watching this right now, or I know a lot of you guys watch this like Saturday morning, Sunday morning when you're bored, you turn it on and let it run in the background. If you have a Syncro Westie that's in really nice condition, you're within the range of southern New Jersey, and you want to help us out here, I'm trying to find out from Doug, when he would like to do the show. And if I can find that out, then we'll go ahead and do. We'll set that up, and you can come bring your van, and you can be on here. I mean, you can see Doug has about 600,000 subscribers on his channel. A lot of his videos get, like he's got one 3 million view video here for this Ford GTX, or I'm sorry, Ford GT 2017. So you could possibly, your Vanagon could become a YouTube sensation. Okay, so that was something that was really exciting that I got excited about here with Doug, and so hopefully we'll be doing that soon. Let me switch this off. me switch off the screen share, stop sharing. We'll go back to me. Okay, so looks like we got about 3 viewers on here right now. Got Rourke out there, so good job. Thanks for coming out to be with us today, Rourke. I've got every customer that waited until 5 o'clock to call me on a Friday to order parts. They're all calling me on the phone right now, so that's terrible for them. I'm just trying to see something. Okay. So, but I'm glad Rourke's made it out to be with us. It looks like Texas boys are out there in the land there somewhere. So, good job. And, you know, you can always catch the reruns. The live streams are, you know, on our channel. So you can always just watch them later. You know, like usually when we do the live streams, maybe 12 people max are watching them live. But afterwards, that week, usually it's over like 100 views. So, I mean, I know a lot of people are watching them. Okay, so I saw, wanted to mention about Doug DeMuro's thing. The other YouTube channel I kind of found out about this week, which is super obscure, is one called The Slow Dutchman. Okay, so I'm going to bring his up here in just a sec here. And, you know, I wound up subscribing to his channel. It's just this Dutch couple, and they don't have very many subscribers to their channel. It's really just more like something cool that they're doing as a couple and going around. They went around the U.S. and now they're in Mexico traveling around. So let me switch over to that and I'll show you their channel. And I would just, you know, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, I mean, I would subscribe to their channel. It's the Slow Dutchman. You can just put that in into YouTube and it'll bring up their channel. And, you know, just let them know you saw their channel here on the Vanagon live stream. And they have all kinds of cool stuff. He's got a high top synchro turbo diesel. And he's done a lot of modifications to it. So, you know, it's not just they're traveling, but you get to see all these cool mods he's done to his van. And I really enjoy seeing stuff like that. Also, another channel that I just subscribed to, let me see if I can see it in my subscriptions right here. I have a lot of subscriptions in my other email address, so that kind of goofs me up. There's these guys that I just found out about this week as well. They are called EVTV. Also, Jack Rickard. And EVTV is this crazy channel where this guy is doing electric vehicle conversions. And so, you know, you would think, who cares about that? But one of the electric vehicles they're converting right now is a Doka. Okay, and they're actually putting a Tesla drivetrain into a Doka. And they actually have done it. Now, I will caution you about this channel, EVTV. This channel is extremely boring. Okay, I mean, they will do a video that is like 2 hours long, and they will say some of the same stuff over and over again. If you can get through that part of it and get into the meat and potatoes part of it of how they're putting these Tesla things into, you know, into a Vanagon, that is what I like. Okay, so they have put in a Tesla drivetrain into this Doka, and I mean, this thing will burn out. I mean, it will peel out. It'll go sideways down the road, and it's pretty awesome. So I would check out EVTV just at least to see a Vanagon with a Tesla drivetrain under it, and they still haven't finished it yet. So that's basically the different YouTube channels I discovered this week. You know, they come up in my feed thing, and so I want to welcome out Mike Haney. He is a customer of mine who has been working on a Vanagon for a little while. So good welcome out to the channel, Mike. I hope you get to enjoy the live stream day. I don't know how long the live stream is going to be today. It's really up to you guys. If you have questions about stuff, then I'm here to answer them. That's pretty much the whole point of it. If you don't have a lot of questions about stuff and you're bored and tired, I mean, I'm bored and tired too. I'm not bored, but I'm tired. It's Friday. I'm a little sleepy and stuff, but we'll be on here as long as you guys want to be on here. So I don't know if you saw the videos I just did last night. We got these pretty sweet 7-inch round headlights that we just put up on the store this morning. And basically they will work in any they will work in any 7-inch round application that I can find so far. I haven't tested them in buses yet, but I have tested them in 7-inch round bounty gun buckets. They work great, and they're pretty awesome. So if you get a chance later on today, check out those videos. I made a playlist out of it. There's 5 real short videos about the 7-inch round LED headlights that we're selling now. And they're actually at a really good price. I looked around too. The customer came in with an 85. His headlights were, you know, they're always garbage. And then we decided to change them. And then I thought, you know, instead of buying like a halogen housing and putting an LED bulb in it, why not just like a whole entire, you know, LED housing? It's all sealed and everything. So I saw Go Westy had them for the mere price of $350. And I saw Van Cafe, $300 something. So I'm like, there's got to be something cheaper than that. So I went ahead and got these ones that I found, and they actually were pretty reasonable. I mean, I'm retailing them for $125, but that's like a lot cheaper than these other guys are doing, and they seem to be great. So far, so good. So, so take a look at that when you get a chance. All right, so Mike is asking valve cover glue. Well, Mike, there is no such thing as valve cover glue. The problem with trying to glue it is that if you do put something on there, what I've tried to do it makes the cork gasket slippery like a bar of soap in the shower. And the harder you squeeze it, the more it squirges out of your hand. So the best thing to do is have a properly formed and shaped valve cover and a properly formed and shaped bail that goes onto the valve cover. If you have those two things, you can just put that gasket on there. It will seal and it will be fine. But I've had problems with the aftermarket valve covers like MP1s. There's a chrome set I got in the van. Put it on, leaked like a sieve. Put the Jopex ones on that I can get that are just a black, and some Jopex, which is JP Group bails, perfect. No leaks, nothing. Okay, so that's my advice on that. If you're having a problem with those aluminum, fancy aluminum valve covers that you wanted, because I told you I had hesitation. If you're having leaks with them, let me know. We'll send them back, and we will get you some regular ones. Okay, doke. So that's my advice on that. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions? I know Rourke's on here, and I definitely appreciate him being on here. He's got a Subaru. I don't know if that means that he's no problems ever on the Subaru or what. Okay. But anyway, all right. That's nothing. Okay. So let me look in here. All right, so Mike says he hasn't even put the valve covers on yet. So yeah, there's no glue for that, Mike. So just put them on and see what you think. All right, so I'm trying to get back to my live stream page here again. So you can get back in the chat. All right, so we're back in the chat again. Yeah, Rourke says, haha, that he's not having problems. So I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, we've had some people sending us messages through the website, but I asked people last week, I'm like, you guys have anything you want to talk about? Please submit that in the comments. The only thing I got, one guy said, you know, any parts that aren't available any longer. Right now, pretty much everything is available. The only thing I'm having a hard time with right at the moment, well, are fuel injection parts for the air-cooled bounty guns. They are getting hard to get, like airflow meters, there is a cold start valve that you cannot get. You get airflow meters that I cannot get, and that kind of stuff. I don't know what's going to happen to the air-cooled bounding guns. The biggest problem with those was that they made two versions of it, right? They made a California version and they made a federal version, and they only made them for just a couple years. So 80 to 83 and a half, they made them. And so I don't know if I'm going to ask about your fancy aluminum thing, Mike, on here, but we'll see. So they only made it for a couple years, and the big problem now is, you need a airflow meter. You pretty much have to send yours in and get it rebuilt. We do have a rebuilder that can do it, but a lot of times people just refuse to send me their airflow meter. I guess they figure it's still working. So, we don't have any cores. I don't have any cores for the air-cooled airflow meters at the moment to get rebuilt. And the rebuild process takes a few weeks. As far as that cold start injector goes, there's definitely problems with that, finding them. I don't know if that's going to get resolved, so I guess stay tuned if you're air-cooled. Now, as far as the water boxer stuff, that's all still good, the 1.9 and the 2.1 stuff. And the diesel stuff, if it's anything besides an 82, you're covered. An 82 diesel, most of the cooling hoses you can't get, but you can retrofit. And of course, your radiator you can't get, but you can either have that repaired or retrofit a later model radiator. And I think we've actually talked about that in the past episode. All right, so anything else you guys want to talk about? Mike wants to talk about this idea that he has for a fancy aluminum breather tower. That breather tower, I think I showed you a new plastic one last week that we can get, and they're expensive. I understand that. Mike wants to make one out of aluminum that has a cap on the top that you can put oil in. That. So if anybody's interested in that, let me know, and I will tell Mike make 25 of them for all the viewers that are wanting to buy a fancy aluminum crankcase breather tower with oil adding capabilities in the top. I mean, I like to mess with the oil through the license plate. Most people do because they don't want to take the engine lid off. That's why Volkswagen did it that way. But, Mike's been obsessed about this for a few weeks, and so sometimes obsessions are good. I don't have a problem with obsessions, but because I'm in there. I'm in that group. But you have to see, is it just your obsession, or can other people also join you in your obsessions? That's what we're trying to find out. So if you're interested in that, put it in the super chat or something, and we will deal with it. All right, Mike is bored. All right, peace out, Mike. All right, so the front heater core has a shutoff valve added. Is it a problem to open it when the fluid has already been brought up to temp? Just wondering if the core is better off warming up versus immediate heat. That's a good question, Work. I guess I wouldn't think that there would be a problem opening that valve, but if it was me, I probably would just do it. Like, usually when you have that valve, it's because in the summertime you want to shut off the front heater core completely so that you're not getting any flow. You can never fully shut the front heater core off. So you have, there's a valve, but it actually lets a little bit of coolant through. And that's why a lot of times you'll have that hot foot syndrome in the summer. You can go to Home Depot, buy a brass valve with a ball valve like Rourke's van probably has in it. And you can put that in the line. You just basically cut one of the supply hose to the front heater core. It's actually down kind of over towards the glove box area under the dash. You should be in the chat, Mike. Come on. Don't be, he's sending me Google messages, Hangout messages. But you can put that valve in and that'll shut your heater off completely. Okay, and I think that valve costs like maybe $10 at Home Depot. If you guys are interested in it, I can show you one next week. It's pretty easy to install too. You just take that middle section out under your dash area, down that little kick panel that's behind where your shifter is, and you can pull that out. There you'll see the two hoses going by right there. and you just kind of clamp them off, kind of like you're doing the surgery. You know how they have those, they clamp off a bleeder or something and they cut it, and then you can put this valve in there, you turn it off. So anyway, I mean, normally when you put that valve in, it's because you don't want heat in the summertime. And I super agree with that. So like normally you would shut it off in the spring when you know you're not going to need any more heat. And then maybe like in the fall, it starts getting cooler, just turn it back on. I mean, I would just do it that way versus, you know, you're driving somewhere and you're like, oh no, I need heat right now. I better turn this on. Like, I have no clue what that would do. That might be perfectly fine. I would think it would be okay. It's just going to allow the heat to start circulating. I don't think there's pressure building up in there, but I don't know for sure. It would be way better just to do it like before you leave on a trip. If things turned off, it's cold, just flip the switch and you're good to go. So anyway, all right. So yes, I think the same thing, Mike. I think it's probably, you know, equalized. So there probably wouldn't be, you know, a problem doing it. I would say, you know, try it, Rourke, but I don't think it would hurt anything. Okay, so that's all that questions that we got, and Mike is having fun with the videos, of course. All right, so is there any other questions? I know a few weeks ago we had people from Australia viewing us. That was great. And I know it's hard to Friday at 5 o'clock. You know, everybody's ready to go home for the day. That's where I'm at. I'm just trying to think of anything else that's been happening this week. I had some other things to talk about, I thought, and now I'm blanking out. Probably because I'm just tired. All right, so, and we had so many people, you know, this week. We had so many orders this week. We have a new feature on our site, too. I don't know if you guys know about it. It's called Web Interpret. Actually, you wouldn't know about it unless you're coming from another country. So people from Canada, they look at our site. It's, of course, in English, but it's in Canadian dollars. If you come to our site from Spain, like we had an order from Spain today, it's in Spanish, and actually the money's in euros. If you're coming from the UK, of course, it's in English, but it's in pounds. The money's all translated. And it's kind of a cool thing that's going on. PayPal has this company they bought or something called Web Interpret. And they do this weird thing where you set it up on your site, and it'll interpret it into these other languages. If you're coming from Germany, I had some German orders today. I think 2 Germany orders today. It translates the entire site into German. It translates all the money into euros, and it's a really cool feature. So if you're coming in from another country and you're watching our videos and stuff, let me know what you think about, you know, the translation part on the site, because it's definitely been going on. And it's, I mean, today I got a lot of orders, and a lot of them were through that. Okay, like probably half. So, you know, all I gotta say is, thumbs up to Web Interpret, thumbs up to the European customers, and we're really trying to help you guys out there. It's funny because I'm buying a lot of products from Europe and then turn around and reselling them to Europe, but you know, that's the way it goes. Okay. So it looks like right now we got about 8 viewers on here. If anybody wants to do a shout out, I mean, I'll shout out to you right now. If you want to do a donation into the live stream last week, a bunch of people did that. I definitely appreciate it. Thomas, he's usually on here. I don't know if he's on here today or not. Okay, Thomas donated to us last week. Another guy donated $20 last week, and then he placed a $500 order this week. So thanks a lot for that. I don't really expect you guys to donate if you're going to be placing nice orders, but I definitely appreciate it. And we also have a link to our PayPal in the thing too. So if we help you out with a problem and you want to say thanks, you can just do that as well. Another thing, I had, I think Billy Shepard is probably on here as well. And he sent me a link to a camper rental place in Maui that a friend of his runs. If any of you are interested in that, I can send you the information on that. Oh, yeah, I think Thomas is on here. Okay, good. Good, Thomas. Welcome out, man. I'm glad you're back with us. But Billy Shepard sent me a link to a friend of his that rents Westies in Maui. in Hawaii. I told you guys a couple weeks ago we're planning on possibly going to Hawaii. And I kind of would like to take you guys with us if we could. I'd like to do some, not live streaming from there, but definitely video. Hawaii is, as it relates to Vanagons, and there's actually multiple Vanagon rental companies in Maui. So I knew about this other one through a guy named Tyler who had bought like multiple the distributors for the 1.9. Okay, so he had bought multiple ones of them. Like, what's going on? He's like, oh, I have a Vanagon rental company in Maui. He rents Westies. This other lady that Billy Shepard sent me link to her company, she rents campers, but they're actually hardtops. And so I guess maybe it's more like you're stealth camping. Okay, so you're able to camp out and do things without, you're kind of like under the radar. Okay, so if you're interested in that, you guys, maybe you're heading out to Maui and you want to rent a Westie, they're out there. There's 2 companies so far I found that rent them out. There's also, of course, Kauai Camper Rentals out on Kauai as well. So I don't know what we'll do. If we could work out some kind of a thing where you guys are like donating to help us on our trip, maybe we could do more stuff. I know they have like that GoFundMe thing that people do. And sometimes they'll say, hey, I want to go on this vacation. I'm going to film it and whatever. And then, if you help me, I'll film stuff. I'll bring it back. Because, there's some people, they can't get out there. They want to see what stuff's like. Okay, so I'm just throwing it out there. If you guys want to do that, let me know that in the comments as well. So Rourke says, I notice a lot of folks put the aux battery under the driver's seat. Is that vented? Does it need to be as much as it used to? Okay, well, that's a good question. It's not sealed. Okay, so when you put a battery under there, there's plenty of ventilation. There's actually a big compartment that's kind of like this tall. It runs across the whole entire underneath of the seat. The battery is only like in the very back section of the underseat area. The rest of it is like this maybe 2-inch tall area, and then it actually vents out under like the front of the seat where your legs are. So I think there's plenty of ventilation there for that. I mean, I have seen on the other side, on the under the passenger seat, some vans, not all vans, some vans have vent hoses that go down, and that way they're venting the batteries outside. But that compartment usually is like got a cover that's screwed down onto it, and it seems like it's a little bit more sealed than the one under the driver's seat. The driver's seat one is pretty much, not really sealed up, so your hydrogen isn't going to accumulate. Mike says it depends on the battery type. I think that's true as well. Like maybe he's talking about the difference between like a gel battery versus a liquid or a lead acid battery. Maybe. I'm not a super battery expert. I play one on TV, but I'm not a super battery expert. I mean, I'm good with electricity. I'm good with hooking up batteries. I do think about, the venting side of it. And, my rule of thumb is if there's a way for this stuff to get out, then it's probably not going to accumulate and cause an explosion or a problem. So, okay, yeah, that's what Mike is saying. The AGM and lead acid are a little different. So you have the gels. I guess they're not gassing like the lead acid ones are. All right, so that's what's happening that way. Justin AB says, tip on camping in Maui, as long as you have a fishing line in the water, you can camp on the beach legally. When locals get in trouble with their wife, they say, I'm going fishing. Okay, so that's a good thing. Justin, maybe we could like get one of those things you put on the bumper or on the back hatch. It's got like those little like PVC pipes, and you could put a fishing line on there and just be like, I'm fishing, and throw like an empty hook in there, and now you're fishing. And then nobody can say anything. And then if you're like, anybody comes, they say, I'm fishing. Okay, so good to know. I will try that out when I go there. All right, Rourke says he had a friend weld a box for under the right side. Okay, that's for your battery. I mean, that's fine. You can put your battery anywhere you want. I mean, bad part about the under driver's side box is that it kind of limits the size of the battery that it can possibly be. I mean, I've seen people put it other locations, like under the back seat, inside the cabinetry of the Westie, all kinds of stuff. And, you know, wherever you feel like doing it. I've seen people put it under the car too, if they feel like if it's like a really big one, they want to have like a lot of amp hours and stuff. So whatever you feel comfortable with, opposite side of where the propane tank is. Okay, that's good. And the battery's at AGM. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you know, that's fine. I mean, if you want to put that under there and you can, you know, the biggest problem I have is like having to deal with it. Like usually every time I put something somewhere that's hard to get to or like a little bit of a pain in the butt, then you always have to like take it back out for some reason. And you can't just leave it there and enjoy it. And that's the problem I have. So like with it under the seat, it's pretty easy access. Like if I have any kind of issue or I have a thing, I can just like flip it up, look at it. Okay, there it is. Unhook a wire real fast. It's unhooked. You know, put it under the car. You know, you got to like crawl under there and you got to like, you know, maybe it got mud on it and stuff. I don't know. That's just me. I'll try to keep stuff as simple as possible. Okay. And yeah, Rourke is saying that he is putting weight on the right side, tools, etc. Okay. So you're trying to like balance out the car, right? Because the Westies always had this problem where it seems like they kind of tilt to the left because they have their camping equipment on the left side. I don't know if some of you guys have dealt with that whole sagging spring deal where, I mean, it seems like some Westies, they just sag in the back spring-wise. Other ones, they tilt to that side, to the left side. And I imagine that's what Rourke's talking about. He's trying to like balance it out so it's not tilting to that side. It's evenly heavy on both sides. So that's good. It's good that you're thinking about that. And he's trying to keep the weight down low. You know, you want to have like a low center of gravity to keep it from tipping over. And of course, the driver, I call it quarter pounder with cheese. I can't say nothing about 215 pounds because that's me. I'm there. But I've seen some folks that are a couple drivers, right? I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or nothing, but they're large people. And so that's a factor. I mean, if you have a passenger it's supposed to be 180 and the driver is like 400 pounds, you know, you gotta expect something to give at some point. You know, I guess I've seen not so much really large people driving Banagons, which occasionally, not that often. The biggest thing I've seen is like people putting a whole lot of stuff in their vans. Okay, so I will give you a little tip. When you take your car to get worked on, please take your stuff out. Okay, please take your stuff out as much as you can. I know sometimes you're broken down on a trip and all your stuff's in there, but I've had people bring me their vans. They aren't taking any trips. They aren't doing anything, but their van is literally packed with stuff. And there's stuff in the back, there's stuff here, there's stuff there. You know, I have to move all that stuff around or put it out in my shop. And it's just a pain. But, you know, you have to think about, you have to really think about the fact that, you know, all that weight, it's sucking away your power of your motor, and it's sucking away your fuel economy, and it's sucking away everything. And, you know, do you really need all that stuff? I mean, a Westie is not an RV as far as, like, I have a Bounder RV. It's like a 35-foot. I have a 454 engine in it, and I pile crap in there. You know, I mean, we're Americans. We like our crap. We like to take our crap with us wherever we go. I've got, like, multiple television sets in there. They're all LCDs now. I've got multiple DVD players. I've got, you know, a bathroom in there. I've got a 100-gallon water tank and gray water tank and black water tank. You know, and that thing is a beast. It's like a big bus, and you can put stuff under it, and it doesn't really seem like it really affects it that much. It only gets 10 miles to the gallon, so I mean, I'm not like killing the stuff. But I mean, I've seen Westies come here. People try to treat them like that, and they'll be like, "Hey, kid," when they pull in, and their van is like all squatted down, all wallering around, and they're like, "Oh, this thing drives terrible, and it has bad power. I don't know what's wrong with it." I'm like, dude, it's got like 1,000 pounds of crap in this car. Not the driver, but just all their junk, and like every single drawer thing is full. Every single place is full. The entire back is like completely full to the point where you almost can't see out the window. Less is more. Less is more. So try to keep it down as far as the stuff goes. And if you can't do that, please, at the very least, when you're taking your van to get work done, take that stuff out. I mean, I had a lady that was using her Syncro as a storage shed. And, you guys know how that goes. It was off the road. It wasn't being used. She had it full of stuff, which is perfectly fine. But it was just random stuff, like all kinds of random stuff you would normally put in a garden shed. And so she called me. I want to restore it. I want to, bring it back to life. I'm like, yeah, we can definitely do that. So the problem was she had it towed here. It wasn't running and driving. She had it towed here by the guy. And when it got here, it was completely packed with all this stuff. And I didn't have any room to put it anywhere in my shop. Like I don't have that much room in my shop to store like an entire Vanagon's worth of an old swimming pool, and I mean just all kinds of stuff, tarps and different garden items. So I called her up. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with all this stuff? I forgot to take it out. I'm sorry. And she was a nice lady. I'm not being mean to her. But guys, at least like clean out the back where that you're going to get to the engine. Okay. That would be awesome. I mean, just help out your mechanic a little bit. And I even had a guy come here. He had the Go Westy bumper. You guys asked about that last week. Then he had to get the attachments because, this is a thing. We got to buy this bumper because I want to put the spare tire back there. I don't want to put some fuel cans or something because I'm Mad Max, Beyond Thunderdome is fixing to happen, and I'm doing it. So he got all that stuff. All right. I officially hate both of them racks, and I'll tell you why. Because when you're trying to work on your van, you have to open them up. Then you open up the hatch. And I hit them things at least 20 times. They're in the way. And I don't know how big of a shop you would have to for them to not be in your way, but it's way bigger than anyone I know about. And, they're constantly in the way. You're constantly banging into them. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to take them on and off to take it to a shop to get it worked on. But I'm just saying, I just don't like them things at all. There's a spare tire thing under the front. Use that. And for your gas cans, there's a gas tank. Just put gas in that and don't take extra cans. I mean, we're on the East Coast, people, right? I know there's places you can go where there isn't stuff, but there's a lot of stuff, okay? So anyway, so that's my rant on that. I mean, I'm not saying anything negative about Go Westy. The racks were nice. They were on there nice. But it was just like something that just made working on the van like a pain in the butt, All right, so anyway. Yep, yeah, Mike says, add feed to remove and store stuff. I mean, that would be a good idea. That would be a good idea. All right, we got Charlene Almonte on here watching our video for the first time. Welcome out. Your last name sounds familiar to me, so I don't know if maybe I know you guys as customers in the past, but welcome out to our stream. Is there anybody on here that's coming from a different country? Let me know about that. I'd like to know. Like I said, a couple weeks ago, a guy was from Australia was on here. That was pretty sweet. I mean, it's got to be like 5 o'clock in the morning over there, so he must have been getting ready to watch his Saturday morning cartoons or something, and decided to get to us that way. All right, so I'm just getting all these text messages. I mean, another pet peeve I got, guys, is like I'm here, all week, 9 to 5, and at 5 o'clock I'm done. I'm closed, and I know there's a time difference, but here's what happens: 4:59. 20 people try to call, and they're all from the East Coast most of the time too. They're all from Maryland and Florida and all this stuff, and they know I'm fixing to close, and they're all calling. I got this. I need something. It's like you couldn't have thought of that. Like the whole entire rest of the day, or it's just ridiculous. So please try not to call at the very last possible second. If you do, you will most likely get the voicemail unless I really like you a lot. Okay. Oh, okay. Charlene says she is in Newark, New Jersey. Okay, that's great. Somebody has to live there, so I'm glad you're living there. I imagine you have your van so you can escape Newark from time to time, which would probably be good. Okay, but anyway, you should come down and visit us here in South Jersey. If you guys have been here to my shop, you know we're living right by a lake, and it's a very beautiful area down here. There's also a nice park down here, Belle Plaine State Park. There's actually some Vanagon or VW meets too at that state park. We have a South Jersey VW club, which I guess I'm part of it. I think I am. And it's run by a guy named Mike Miller. He's a real great guy. And also another guy I'm going to put a shout out is Sean McDonald. He is also a great guy, and they both kind of work together to make sure the Volkswagen community here in South Jersey has these cool events. They have a thing in October where it's like a Halloween event for kids, and you can go camp out. And I went to visit it last year, and you can go camp out. You can hang out, and the kids can go trick-or-treating in the Belle Plaine State Park. So that's pretty cool. So, there's some cool stuff hanging out down here in South Jersey. All right, Mike's got a picture of Route 66 from the top of his Vanagon, so that's cool. Just sent me. All right, let me get back. I got to refocus, Mike. I got to refocus. All right, so let me get back on here. All right, so, and the Texas boys say hit the thumbs up on this video if you guys can. I guess all that stuff helps our ratings and stuff. I don't totally 100% know how it works. Like I said, last week we had a bunch of people donate, and that helps us out because I just give you guys an idea about YouTube. YouTube videos, I mean, we have some that have pretty high viewer count. I had that secondary battery video. Last time I looked at it, it had like 20,000 views or more. In the past, and I have over 100 videos on here. I'd like to do more. I just did 5 yesterday. But, the amount of money you get from the YouTube ad generation thing is super tiny. So you will do a bunch of videos, have them on here for an entire year, and you might get $100. I'm just telling you, that's what it is. And so, really, like the donations and stuff they make it up. Like now, instead of like this past month, because of the donations, now my thing is already up to like $40. Well, I mean, they would have took me like over 6 months to get to that point normally. Okay. And of course, Texas boys, they say there's algorithms or something. If you hit the thumbs up button, it definitely helps us out. So, and also, guys, subscribe. Now, when you guys subscribe, there's a little bell-looking thing. Let me see if I can show it to you real quick. Okay, I'm going to do this again, so just bear with me. I got to click this thing and go into this screenception thing. All right, so let me go back over here. All right, so say you come to our YouTube channel, and you want to, support us or whatever. That's awesome, and we definitely appreciate it. So when you go on here, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. Let's see what happens. I don't want to. That's awesome, and we definitely appreciate it. I'm going to mute it so you guys don't have to hear that over. But when you're on the YouTube channel, there's a little bell at the top. Ah, crap. I'm trying to find it right now. And that will give you a notification when that person is actually doing something. So like this thing here, oh great, I can see the chat over here. This thing here, this live stream, it would give you a notification of that into your email. Okay, so make sure that you're not only subscribing to us, but you're also clicking that little bell so you can get the notification. It's weird because I usually see it up here in the corner. I'm not seeing it right now, probably because I'm already have the notification thing on. But you can see notifications over here too that you get when people are, you have that enabled. You'll get those notifications, and then you won't miss out on our live stream. Oh, another thing I wanted to kind of mention to you guys. Let me take you to Vanagon.com. I'm always trying to promote, Vanagon community. We actually curate Vanagon.com, which is, and it's also Vanagononline.com. But if you type in Vanagon.com, it'll take you there. You can actually join here and subscribe. It's free. You hit subscribe. And what it does is down here you'll see this recent posts. Okay. What I do is go through a bunch of WordPress sites that people are basically having different adventures, and when they have their adventures, I will post them on here. If you're subscribed to our blog here on Vanagon.com, you'll get to see these cool stories. They'll pop up. It'll get an email that says, Vanagon just popped up, did a story. I mean, here's a story about this lady who is traveling in Scotland with her Vanagon, and you can kind of see that story, read that. I mean, I enjoy reading these different blogs about, Vanagons. I mean, here was another one about the Slow Dutchman. That's actually how I found him, was through a WordPress blog where somebody met up with him. Actually, this is another WordPress blog here. These guys behind the Slow Dutchman. Fast car. It's not a fast car. It's a slow house or something like that. And that's a couple that actually had a Vanagon, but now they have a pickup truck. So, but I still like them. They're not. I haven't written them off yet. And then there's another guy. He's traveling around Europe, like Croatia. So what I'm trying to say is, definitely get on Vanagon.com. Subscribe here on the blog if you can, and it will actually, as soon as I put in these different things, you'll get notifications on here, and you can, if you like that kind of thing, you can read about what's happening in the Vanagon world. One of my ideas for doing this is to try to have like a Vanagon, what do you want to say? Like a Vanagon news service, okay? So that every week, whatever new thing is happening in the Vanagon world, you guys get to know about it, okay? So that's really important to me, that you guys can see, what's happening in the Vanagon world, because, maybe there's some new parts coming out, maybe there's some new, different things that are coming out that if you knew about it, it would help you guys out, and you guys could, learn from that. All right, so let me go ahead and stop sharing. Let's click that. We'll go back to our Hangouts thing. Okay, good. All right, I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. Okay. All right, so I got a question here from Rourke. He's got this question about the transmission. He says he slows down with his transmission and stops with his brakes. And yeah, I mean, that is pretty much, the way that's like the old school way of saving brakes. You can slow down by shifting, downshifting. You do put more wear and tear on your clutch a little bit by doing that, but not a whole lot. So it's really up to you. I mean, if you want to do it, you're putting a little bit more wear and tear on your clutch, putting a little more wear and tear on your transmission. If it's a synchro, I don't know. It's just, I don't know why it's not giving you a lot of resistance. It usually should, give you, it'll increase your revs, and, the engine is trying to slow down the car that way. You get some resistance from the engine. So, I mean, I'm not quite sure why it's not working the way you think, but yeah, I mean, well, yours is a Subaru, right? Rook, is your brother's a Subaru, or is it a Wunderboxer? I mean, it might be something to do with that. On the Vanagon, if you're over 2,000 RPMs and you let off the gas, it actually shuts off the injectors. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but so yeah, anytime you're over 2,000 RPMs and you let off the gas, the injectors actually turn off, and the motor's running off of just momentum and gas fumes that are in there. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. All right, so his is a 95 Jetta. Okay. All right, we got a question here from Steve. Says Steve Shelton. Good to have you out here. He says his 85 starts and idles fine. He drives about a quarter mile, stop, and it dies. He starts again, drives about 2 miles, and then it idles fine. What should he be looking at? Okay. Did we talk about this another time? I think Steve's like one of these people that's got this perpetual problem. It's like the riddle of the Sphinx or something, and we keep trying to unravel it. And it's we keep trying to unravel it, and it just keeps evading us or whatever. But we've talked about this before, I think, with Steve. So, you know, I think you said you tested your Temp2 sensor. You've tested the wiring to the Temp2 sensor. I mean, I'm thinking if it's dying, it could be a problem with something in the ignition system. Like maybe there's a problem with the hall sending unit and the distributor could be like flaking out on you. I mean, I've had problems with them before where they'll heat up to a certain degree or something, and then they'll just cut out and they'll stall. Then you start back up, but then it'll just cut out randomly or something. I mean, that's just a thought. Okay, so and to the next side, it was fine. What should we be looking at? Yeah, so I mean, if you've already checked into maybe some of your cold start stuff, you know, like your Temp2 sensor, your wiring for Temp2 sensor, then I would maybe start thinking about possibly replacing some of your electronics, like your computer or your hall sending unit, or maybe there's an ignition module for the 85s too that can cause problems on the firewall. So you might want to think about replacing that. You know, all this stuff is getting old, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, and we even have new wiring harnesses now too. Like Billy Shepard is going to buy a new harness, a brand new harness for his van. But you know, this is the problem you have with these intermittent problems. It could be several different things. It could be the wiring harness, could be this, could be that. I mean, the best way I found, like I said, to troubleshoot it, I'll show you my secret. Are you ready? Bentley manual. Bam. Okay. Bentley manual. You got a water boxer DigiJet. You look up in here. It says fuel injection for DigiJet. Page 24.28. Chapter and verse. You know, the scripture saith unto them, get out of ohm meter. The scripture saith, testify this wire, and it needs to say this particular ohm reading, or it needs to say this particular resistance reading, or whatever. And it's really not that hard to do it. And there's a list of these tests that you're supposed to do, and it basically goes boom, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do these tests, and guess what? 99% of the time when people come here, they will be like, I have been to 10 shops. They can't find this problem. They don't know what it is. Please save me. And I will get out the good book of Vanagons, and I will read the scriptures unto the Vanagon from this with a meter. And within 20 minutes, I found the problem. And they're like, I can't believe it. Why? How did that happen? And I say, that is how you do it, my friends. You have to methodically go through it, troubleshoot it, okay? And once you do that, then you're going to see results. You're going to find problems, you're going to fix problems. I mean, Mike was talking, says, you know, he was having problems with cracked vacuum hoses. I mean, that's another thing you can check out. That does affect them a lot. Usually when you have some vacuum leaks, it idles it up and it makes it run kind of weird that way. But, you know, going through it methodically, saying, all right, I'm going to go through the test in the Bentley with an ohm meter, check everything that way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I don't find it that way, maybe it's a physical problem, do a compression test, right? Then you know what the compression looks like. Then you look through all the vacuum lines. Say, is there any vacuum lines that look cracked, that looked You know, like they're brittle, that kind of thing. You know, but if you go through it and methodically go through it, you will find the answer. There's no magical beast in the motor that's causing problems, although sometimes it seems like there is gremlins in there. But actually, it's just real problems that you can solve. I have faith in you. I believe in you. I believe in you. You can do it. Okay? And if you don't have a Bentley manual, please buy one, because it's worth its weight in gold. You can figure out problems and save yourself hundreds and hundreds of dollars, okay, with a Bentley manual that costs $89 or something like that, but it's worth it. It's worth it, guys. Okay. All right. So, is there any more questions? Because guess what time it is, people? It is 6 o'clock. It's time for this young man to go do fun stuff. I mean, I'm doing fun stuff right now, but I'm talking about going to do Friday fun stuff for me, which is to relax and to not think about bounty guns for 15 minutes. All right, so thanks for coming out again this week, guys. Please like and subscribe if you are watching this video later on and you got to this point. God bless you, my friend. You're awesome. Also, on top of that, if you found something in here that you can use or you just want to support us, there is a link in our description to our PayPal where you can donate. You're like, oh, I can't donate because the stream is over, and you know that's just the way it is. I just wish I could because of reasons. And, you know, guess what? You can go to our description. There's a PayPal link there, and you can give us $10, $5, $20, whatever money you want, and we will say thanks a lot. In the next stream, we will mention your name and say, you know, that this person supported us, because that's what we like to do. Okay, so, but if the rest of you guys, I mean, I know a lot of you guys, like Mike. I mean, he's spending millions of dollars with us every other day. I mean, you know, he doesn't need to give me a donation because I've already got the limousine, I've got a jet, I've got in-ground swimming pool, a mansion, all this. Mike paid for all that. So, you know, donation, why? But anyway, I'm just kidding, Mike. But yeah, I had a good time with you guys today. Please come up with some more questions for me next week. Put them in the comments, and we'll definitely talk about them. All right, guys. Have a great weekend, and get more smiles per gallon with your bounty gun. Peace out, guys.